we know that the older pieces were for utilitarian, uses, storage jars, stew bowls, dough bowls. So, definitely, that's where they came from. And it wasn't until later on when they were, the tourists came around, and then possibly, if they participated in any of the Indian markets, I wonder, the artists did the work for themselves. I mean, that's kind of what I think. They weren't doing it to win a blue ribbon, to win a prize. And that's almost kind of like with myself. I do local shows, and I have no desire to do Indian market and enter my work for judging.
Right now, I want to consider my work as making the utilitarian potteries. Because I'm going to concentrate on making pottery that I'm going to use at our home or at other different religious places. And then maybe eventually I'll work my way into the native art industry and, maybe expose myself that way.
For Native peoples, it's not about the person, it's about the community. In American society, it's about the person, not about the community. So our worlds are very different in those regards. And so we're not here trying to become famous individuals. It's our Pueblo that's being represented. So the pot is remembered as from this Pueblo, not by this potter.
I don't think of myself as an artist. I'm a potter. I feel that I have a responsibility to not only to continue producing what was traditional, but going forward and expanding and trying different forms that are contemporary. And that's because of the clay. I have an idea, but I'm going to depend on how the clay is going to react or what it wants to do. But I have a responsibility to make sure that it is not only is the traditional knowledge going forward and how it's produced, but using your being creative as our ancestors were to go forward.
From my perspective, I'm also a potter, and I serve as an instrument to carry forward our traditions and our teachings and our knowledge. I consider myself a contemporary potter because I fuse traditional knowledge with contemporary today's style. And so for traditional events that take place back home, I do the traditional work, and then for non-traditional events, and of course I work with contemporary. I feel my role is to just keep the tradition alive and moving forward.
And I think we will be the generation to actually bring back traditional pottery, but then also go forward with it, with bringing new forms or new ideas. And so we're always encouraging each other to, keep at it. It's not a competition. It's more so of helping each other and supporting each other.
I do see a lot of young up-and-coming potters, and they're truly incredible. There's quite a few of them that are coming out with just really amazing techniques, amazing designs, shape and form. And I love seeing that, especially at Indian Market. And I love the youth categories that they offer because it's inspiring. And I've had a lot of youth come up to me and say, thank you for creating these pieces because they teach us about our ancestral work. Mm-hmm. And I love that. And that's my rewards. And I really encourage them to continue doing their work and to go visit museums, go visit private collections, talk to other potters, see their work. And I try to encourage them to continue doing their work. I said, you'll be faced with challenges too, because in firing or building, things may not come out the way you expect them to come out. I said, but just continue it, just finish it and keep going and keep working on your pieces. I said, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to come back to it. I said, that's what gives you that energy to put back into your pieces. So what the people, the youth especially are creating and people that are wanting to learn is just starting their work, and then how do they, a lot of times they're trying to figure out which direction they want to go. Am I going to go traditional? Am I going to go contemporary? And it's okay to do both. That's what, it's all about, is just what comes from within.
We try to do as much as we can being potters, but if you push the individual to do something, you push them away at the same time. You want them to come to you with an open heart to be creative and bring back something that might have been done within the family, let alone where it's needed within the Pueblo community, where it's always used. It has, always a function within a place for a purpose. It always has and always will be since the time immemorial. But also it serves as a monetary value to a lot of potters within the communities, where it allows them to put a roof over the head, provide the family, and also put your kids into school at the same time, But also the most important thing that I was taught is that by my mentors is that, never forget who you are and where you come from and why you do what you do. Always remember that. Remember the purpose of where you come from and why you do pottery, for that particular reason, for your community, for that time and need within a place for a purpose and function, as well as yourself. She'll take care of you, you take care of her.